I have to pray about this. I have to ask the Lord to reveal to me what the significance of this is. Okay, so for whatever reason, I matured quickly in my life. So I was always looking like I became my body became a womanly very early. Okay, so when a lot of kids were not even close to coming into themselves, I was like a young person with like a pretty much grown up body. Okay, but as time went on, like right now I'm the age that I'm at. The situation is flipped where I look a lot younger than a lot of people my age, which I'm not too sure exactly why the Lord's done this. I've never really kind of been able to fit into the circumstance or situations I've been age wise. I've always been either looking younger or older than my age. So I've always like at a young age I could get into clubs. I got jobs and if I got a job in a factory when I was 12. So okay, this is what's going on right now. For whatever reason. I don't know what God's doing, but I'm just going with it. During this walk, like after my like extreme wilderness time where I was stripped of everything, like I lost everything, my job, my house, my car, everything, the people I love. I had nowhere to sleep. I had no money. I had nothing. So I had to live by faith during this time. This is when I learned about warfare and witchcraft. So during this time, I started to encounter like being approached by young males, like significantly younger than me. I didn't just start there. My last two children, their father lied to me about his age. He's like about 9 years younger than me. And that's not even my style because I've always had an old soul. So I'm always about someone who is mature, at least mature. And I find a lot of people, a lot of men, even men that are older than me, are so immature. So anyway, the point is that I kept on getting approached by males that are younger than me for whatever reason. And in any situation, whenever someone approached me, I always felt uncomfortable. Like I always felt like I've always been the type of person when someone comes at me, especially in a approaching me to pursue me, I've always been uncomfortable. I never knew what to say. Blessings, Ruby. Um, so when these young guys come up to me, it's this is the thing with me, okay? And now that I've always been an old soul, but now that I'm old enough to understand life and have been through some experiences, relationships have to be based more than just what someone looks like. It has to be. There's no, I mean, anyone could pluck, tuck, fill anything they want to do. There's so, like people could build a doll. I mean, there's nothing. And when you get older, the beauty fades. Your relationship has to be based more than just on what you look like. That's the foundation anyway. But the point is that I've over the course of the time I was doing my wilderness time, all these young guys were coming to me, and I feel my age. Like as much as I don't look my age, I feel like I've experienced a lot of life. I've experienced a lot of stuff. So when these young guys come up to me, I'm in mommy mode. I guess because of the job I used to do. Like I'm like, I'm old enough to be your mom, da, da, da. But this is the thing that's intriguing. This is what they come back to me with. Uh Age is nothing but a number, or I could do you right, or and this is after me telling them I had a born again experience, I had an experience with the Lord, trying to be not religious, but to let them know that God is real, like that kind of thing. So I'm coming at them with my testimony while still engaging them in conversation. So I'm telling them like I'm gonna have to be your mom, you know, you know, the Lord, like you need to, you need to you need to find yourself someone that's your age that you can, grow with. But oh no, 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 I like older women. I had an experience when I was young. Da da da. And I never turned back, and that was my first time. I'm like, listen. And then the conversation oftentimes will go off, and then I realize where I'm at. I have to stop it because the conversations end up being the tone ends up being very, where I don't want to, a direction I don't want to go. The point is this. Oh, someone's saying something. It's interesting, huh, Ruby? Hold on a second. Okay, so let's like so Ruby, I hope you stay on here because I want to figure this out. So I asked, okay, so 2 days ago, another gentleman, I was trying to embark on a business and I'm going to retract from it because of the walk in my life, I can't do a regular bit. I can't do a regular job because no too many people know me. Let me see, hold on. Oh, Wendy. Okay. Thank you, Wendy. I love for you to enjoy me in this conversation because I'm trying to figure this out. I'm trying to figure this out. And I know I don't look my age, but you can tell the way I speak and just my mannerisms. And sometimes the way I look, you can tell that I'm seasoned. I've gone through life. I've had some life experiences. So I'm trying to figure, what is it? What is it they want? Okay, so I asked blatantly. There's a guy that I met, and my intention was to offer him a service. Like I'm taking classes to be able to do something with finances, right? Which kind of goes against what I believe because I believe we're in a time where we're not gonna very soon we're gonna have a collapse of the system, like blah blah blah. But anyway, I was trying to offer him a product, a service, which I really do believe in. And he was saying, yeah, he's looking for that. And I said, okay, great. So I this is the only reason why we exchanged numbers is because of this particular business. So when I end up talking to him, out of all the guys, it's almost like this ramped up. Of all the guys I've met over the course of the 10 years I've been going through this intensified wilderness experience, he was the most crude, the most vile, the most blatantly lustful person I've ever met. And he didn't even realize that he was being aggressive that way with me. It's just naturally how he speaks. He's from Jamaica as well. He's actually from Jamaica. My background's Jamaican, but I was born here. So he was talking, he felt comfortable talking to me about what was going on with him or whatever. And I asked him straight, what is it you want? Like, what would you want? Besides the fact that some woman abused you and took advantage of you as a child. And he said, oh, she didn't take advantage of me. I wanted it. And that he was 7 when this happened. 7 years old. So now tell me, so I want to read this because this is important. I don't I don't think it's really us they want. They just don't want the hustle with young women. He said this. They complain about young women all the time online. Yes, young men can be very direct and crude. He said this. He said the exact same thing, and you're right. He said, young girls want they also don't worry about pregnancy. Wendy, you're so right. He didn't say that, but he alluded to the idea that he said those things. He said it almost sounds like him speaking. He said, "Yeah, young girls, they play too much games, and older women are relaxed, and they know what they want, and they'll take care of you. They want to be pampered." And I said to him, what about the reverse? What about older guys who want younger girls? What about that? Why do, because there seems to be something going on right now in the atmosphere, spiritually speaking, where younger guys seem to want older women and older men want younger women. And I'm trying to figure what is happening. I'm just like, let me read this. This channel is being monitored and investigated for going against our community. What are you talking about? Anyway, so I am saying, what is happening? What is the purpose of like if people are looking for relationships, you can't complain about relationships if you are looking just to hook up physically. It makes no sense to me. It's not. And as a matter of fact, there we go. Ridiculous. Um, so the deal is this. I was so I was so taken aback by the conversation, and every time he spoke a word, like he would say stuff like, "I want to do this," like I mean, the most crude words you could use to describe intimacy between a man and woman. Those are the words he would use to to describe what he wanted to do to me. And I thought to myself, what woman out there who's my age, a little bit older or even younger, would be impressed with what how this person was coming at me? You know what? I blocked. I hid the thing, but maybe I should. How do you report something like that? Hold on, let me see. So this is the nature of this channel. People who know me will come on here and try and I don't know how they're accessing my channel, how they're able to access the subscribers, but people are unsubscribed. People are um blocked. Like the count, the number count on my channel is usually is like, let's just say there's 5 of you on here, 7 of you on here in this live. I'll look on here and it's showing that there's zero. Like this, the platform is, I don't know, but the Lord said that I should continue to share, so that's what I'm doing. Anyway, the point of this is that I'm trying to figure why the switch. Like there's so much going on in the globe. Like God's plan was for man and woman to come together and become one and procreate and populate the earth, right? There's so much happening on the globe right now that goes against that. I'm a woman who this gentleman or these gentlemen could never, today's gauge app relationships or hookup type things. Think Tinder. You know what the thing is? Like you said, think Tinder, but I've never. I don't even. I only started to hear about Tinder. Um, Not even through my daughters. They didn't even tell me about it. I started to find out Tinder through the tarot. There's tarot. For whatever reason, the Lord led me to understand about tarot readers through this platform. I don't know why, and that's how I knew that someone took out a got a tarot reading on me. So I don't know science. Science like biology science. Science, I'm familiar with science if that's what you mean. If you mean science in the sense that people say like magic, I'm familiar with both. Anyway, the point is this. Whatever, for whatever reason, there's so many things happening on the globe where people are connecting that could not possibly fulfill the purpose that God has for relationships. Grown men with little boys, little girls with grown men, grown women with young boys, grown men with young women, with very superficial, surface level intentions, and it's annoying to me. Like I'm just thinking to myself, I was so turned, like, and and I was kept on saying, I threw everything at him. I said I could all have to be your mom. I already have somebody. All this stuff. I said a whole bunch of different things. Mind you, that not the more I spoke, the more we had dialogue, the more he said, "Oh, even more so now." He talked about how his body was reacting to what I was saying and how I was talking, what he saw. Mind you, this person could have just been sent just to test me. This person could have been someone who said, "Well, she's in the bank." This is a person that I met the same day I said I was followed. That there was a whole bunch of gentlemen in the mall that kind of situated themselves around me and were kind of like, I don't know if they're taking pictures or video of me. And when I share this with people that I know, they always act like, who are you? Why would they be following you? Why would they? Are you a millionaire? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm so done with answering this question. I'm so done. The people in my life are not going to know who I am. They're not going to care to know who I am. So my days of explaining myself are so finished. Because I didn't even know the calling of my life until as of recently. So to explain to someone, if I'm just figuring it out, how would anyone who knew me since I was young really know unless they got a reading on me? Oh, I get what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. Are you saying like someone who's into magic, someone who's into witchcraft? It appears that way. Like everybody that I've encountered that has been into that has been heavily like lustful. So there's something to be said about there's something real and true to be said about how the enemy, um all these things that we see in Hollywood and stuff like that, and how lustful they present. There's something about that. There's something about why they do what they do, why they have people lusting after each other in ways that aren't fulfilling beyond the superficial stuff. Anyway, I had to share that because, and that little thing that was there though, it really threw me off. Where was it? So stupid. Anyway, I'm getting hit, but it's like getting hit on is different. But usually guys shoot their shot where they know it makes sense. They don't just like try and hit on people just for the sake of hitting on people. And the fact that he's telling me, oh my gosh, have you been? Well, I appreciate your support. It was a time when I was struggling to keep the channel going because the attack not only was against my physical well-being, but against my cell phone. My cell phone, oftentimes they could tap into your cell phone through the Wi-Fi or through the cell the connection, and I lost so many phones through that process. It's just the fact that I'm actually still sitting here and the channel continued to go on is actually a miracle in itself. It really is. So anyway, I just had to share the. I just had to know, like, I'm glad that you're sharing what you're sharing with me because I was thinking like I know it's not just me. I know it's not just me because I've seen videos about it. It seems to be the talk, and a lot of women that are my age don't look their age. A lot of them look way younger than their age. So I see it, but I don't understand it. And I could see someone and think they're attractive and not try and pursue the person, or think that I could see someone who's younger or older and appreciate their attractiveness and go about my merry way. And not think, and not have fantasies in my mind about how to pursue or be pursued. Like how I dress and how I present is not about trying to attract younger people or a person in general. It's just being me. What I do in regards to how I dress and how I look is for me to be happy, for me to be comfortable. I'm not happy unless I am dressed in a way that's presentable, that's respectable when I go out. And people might say that you're overdressed because I love oftentimes I'm polished. I don't wear pants, so how I'm dressed is going to be reflective of we're wearing a skirt. So oftentimes they're boots or right now it's boots. I have leather boots. I love to wear boots to keep my legs warm, or it's like sometimes a little heel or whatever else, but oftentimes I go out, I look more polished than most people would. And it's not because I'm trying to draw attention to myself. This is what makes me happy. Whatever comes from that is what it is, but it's how I feel about me. Uh, Deborah, Deborah, I've been backsliding and I had a fair few of these young men. Now it's time to admit it to the church, you, and move on. You know what? We all have our journey. We all have our path, our cross to bear. Yeah, I don't know I don't know what you felt like, how you were feeling at the time. It's flattering that someone finds you attractive, but I thought to myself, now this guy is seeing me. He didn't even know me. He approached me when I was leaving a bank, and so he didn't talk to me. He hadn't talked to me. He had not. He didn't know my name. He didn't know my background. Nothing. All he did was saw my physical appearance, and then when he said that he needed the services I was offering, we we exchanged numbers, and when he called, he was saying that I must have known that he wasn't really about the phone number, about the business or what I was offering. And I said, you saw me, I did not see you. I didn't have a chance to check you out or to hear you speak or whatever. So you think that between the time I left that store or the bank and came out here that I had plotted to give you my number so we could have some kind of relationship or some kind of situationship? And he had to really think. like, and then I guess the unfortunate thing for me is I'm the type of person that's always trying to engage people, trying to teach people stuff. And sometimes it's a matter of like, you just walk away. And I really wish I did. I've had a lot of experiences like that. And, but yes, but this last one really took me because of when I think that person was sent and, to test me, like that maybe for you, Wendy, maybe you were tested and you're being tested, and I've had different tests as well. Maybe at this stage of my life that wouldn't be a test that I would fail, like maybe whatever else. But the point is that we're tested doesn't make us bad people. It's just a matter of learning a lot about ourselves, and then we move on. And I'm glad that you were able to share that. Just now at this point, you just move on. I can't imagine getting anything. It's okay, but I fail other tests. The other tests I fail too. There's people that have been my age that present the same kind of, they may not be too young for me, but emotionally they were young. That's still a test. When you engage someone, whether it be into emotionally or even physically, and they are not at your level, they could be your age and not be at your level. That's true. That's what I believe. So anyway, I had to share that because it's just I'm baffled by this. I just can't imagine a grown woman engaging a younger guy, especially one who's obviously just strictly invested in what you look like. I felt so, if I was a type of different kind of person, I could probably make a lot of money utilizing that kind of thing, if you know what I mean. But God will bless me in the ways that He needs to bless me. I don't need to utilize, but I know for sure. Me and this gentleman talked about this. There's lots of young girls who are utilizing what they have to bring to the table, whether it be natural or enhanced, to get money, to live a lifestyle off of the lust of men, which is unfortunate. Anyway, I had to share that. So how long was that live? 22 minutes. That's not too bad. Anyway, I plan to come on later on. Thank you for sharing your testimony. And I'm glad, I appreciate your support over the course of the time. This has been going on for a long time. You watched me age, get older. Anyway, I thank you guys for your support. And now that this person has my contact information, I don't know how this is going to pan out, but believe me, I don't even know how to. I keep on saying after when something happens, the next time it happens, because it's happened quite a few times, how am I going to deal with it next time? And I always deal with it a different time, a different way the next time, but it always ends up in the same situation where I feel violated, first of all, but also too, I feel like, why did I even engage this conversation? Yeah. Take care, sweetheart. I appreciate you. All right, guys. Until later, be blessed.